Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say shalom to the elect that teach the word in our true faith and sincerity. Shalom to the listeners as well. And yeah, we back out again, man. And we are in the midst of prophecy. You know, we're coming to the climax of this thing, man. And it's being made known and manifest by the events that's taking place upon the planet Earth, man. Matter of fact, somebody can give me second Ezra, the 9th chapter, and also St. Matthew 24. Because it serves symptoms to show that we had the downfall of the empire, man. You know, when you read Jeremiah the 49th chapter, it talks about concerning Edom. One of the first things was his wisdom perishing. You know, we seeing that, man. His chance is not working. And a plethora of other things to show corrosion. The corrosion of the minds of the people, the roads. This man, his influence. You know, to show we at the end. So somebody get that second Ezra 9. Yeah, you got it.
This is second Ezra chapter 9, starting at verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
See? Measure the time diligently in itself. How we do that? You got it?
And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before.
So that's how we know. By the sayings. You know, prophecy, man, we saying that there's a great famine that's about to take place. You know, this world war. The Quran is very hot right now, man. You know, you got the Buying Bucks thing coming up, you got Neuralink. You know, the talks of it is, you know, they show you that this prophecy is consuming the planet Earth, man. You got it, man.
Then shalt thou understand.
See, then you're going to understand. And that's how you got to have a certain outlook, too. You got to have a certain doctrine to see it. Matter of fact, somebody get that Psalm 19 and verse 7 and 8.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure.
The testimony of the Lord is sure. We have a sure word of prophecy, man. 1 and 2. You do well, you take heed. You know, because this is going to contribute to us being preserved, man. Holding fast to this word. You know, because this America is about to be destroyed. We actually witnessing the destruction now, man. The destructuring, like I mentioned, the corrosion of this place. The value of the dollar, you know, and then a plethora of other things that show that it has lost its lust. You know, it tells you that the world passed away and the lust thereof.
I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about that. It said withering, right?
Yeah, that's
then it said few men left. I'm hoping
yeah,
the same.
Isaiah 24.
Yeah, that's. That was just the face sign, the sign, right? To build up to the destruction, like the brother said, the destruction.
Second Ezra 9 and 2.
Oh, you got that? Oh,
Verse 8, it says, the statutes of the Lord are right.
read that verse 7 again.
It's like, the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
See, so now we have been put on now to the worldly affairs. The Lord has given us eyes to see. He tells the prudent man foreseeth the evil. You know, so we have to be equipped with this wisdom to know what's going on. That's why it says, as into a light that shineth in a dark place.
It's really right. I'm just saying, hold up, man. Find the destination. Yeah, that's it. Remember that saying? The dude was playing them good times.
I tell you, man.
He was playing the same, which was in a rock and roll form.
Yeah.
Shit.
You're right, though. You're right,
Same tempo. Oh, but yeah. I just wanted to check, right? Fact check. Yeah, Isaiah 24. That's what it's going into. What the brother said. Matter of fact, if we get that, you got it. Then remember where you at, because that's a great point. We're watching the destruction. You see the symptoms of someone that's circling the drain. Scriptures say, take balm for her, right? She's withering. This motherfucker old. Or did you see the video with a motherfucker 118 years old? Right? The motherfucker just skin and bone.
Dry twig.
Yeah, and the Lord punished them of them. They thinking that he's blessed. The motherfucker sitting there like a skeleton.
Hey, we'll have a conversation with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what she gonna tell you. That's what she gonna do.
Yeah. That's America, man. It's withering, like the brother said, the corrosion, the road, that look like wrinkles. Like when you look at these roads, these potholes, they look like wrinkles. And cracks.
No, I'm just saying, somebody get Isaiah the 14th chapter.
Yeah. So that's how we can come to the conclusion that ultimately it's going to be destroyed. Matter of fact, that Isaiah 24 real quick.
Isaiah chapter 24, starting at verse 4, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the hungry people of the earth do languish.
So that, as a matter of fact, you get that word language, huh?
Yeah.
Because it said, and that shows you it was going to be certain people to have the influence, you know, in their time, which is the hardy people, which are the Edomites. That's one word that's associated with the so-called white man, pride. You know, from this commercials, it talks about proud of Marine, proud to be an American, even to you got gay pride and all those things. But that's I would tell you that pride compares him about as a chain. You read Psalm 73, you know. But it says in language, you got it on.
Cause Strong's H 535, to be weak.
To be weak. And the earth is in a weakened state. It tells you what is it, 2 14, the west of old or something like that. Look at the earth in itself, from the fruits of the land. You got grapes, seedless grapes and shit. And then you can have it in your hand, talks about it at one point. Two mighty men can carry plus the grapes. You know, the men has been has gotten weaker. You know, from especially in this time period where you got cereal and cartoons and shit, and you know, things to keep you dumbed down and feminine, man. From the shit that's in the food and you know, the air.
I was going to say too, you mentioned cereal. Did y'all see this nigga Snoop? He got a cereal coming out. Did y'all see that, man? Snoop Loops. Yeah. That's an example of the world becoming weaker, you know? Yeah. That's an example.
But even on that Snoop, weaker, when he first came on the scene, he was known as a gangster, a manly man.
Good, yeah.
Now he has been reduced to doing commercials with Martha Stewart and shit.
Oh, but this is, remember the clip? Remember the clip where he had the miniskirt?
Yeah.
He had the miniskirt with the fishnet.
Yeah.
And he came in pimping that kid, you know. He had on a fuck, he had his hair, he had his shit pressed. Yeah. Yeah, this place that was on weaker, man, that's heavy on all levels. Like even like today's gangsters, you'll get them mixed through, right? Just think that's a R&B. And he got a 40 cal.
It says to be weak, truth.
It's a truth. You see, no, even they said on all levels, from you got ED, low T, but that's affecting the hardy people. That's who does the favor. When you hit those commercials, that's for middle-aged white men, even so-called white men that's in their teens and shit.
Right.
You know, because this is a sign of their downfall.
That withering.
Yeah.
On all levels, he's decreasing. He's been brought low. What's that? Isaiah 47, come down, sit in the dust. That's a process. You start to droop. You know, that strength that he once had is gone. This man had a tight grip, you know. Oh, what's that song? Is it 73? His strength is firm, but eventually that built up into what? Him becoming weak.
Come. Back in that word, it says to be or grow feeble.
To grow feeble, so meaning this is their process. Over the process of time, this man has become weaker and weaker, man.
Right.
It ain't like he got stronger and stronger because you see he got his military has been beefed up. No, that's ultimately for his own destruction, man. But overall, the so-called white man has grown feeble over the course of time. This man is not even looked at as the guy. Let's say even his influence has been drying up. Even let's say they can't have no models over there in Africa or something like that, or even in commercials and
Right,
shit.
right.
So that's just a sort of sign to show you that he is grown weaker. He had, they say, a strong grip on the earth. But nobody don't want to deal with him now, man.
Oh, this whole thing with Brittany PG? That nigga, man. That guy, man. All right, you went out on a limb and saved a fucking product of the LGBT. That's all the ingredients. And you came out with a 6'7" monster. But over the world, what happened? It's known in the world, America went out and traded an arms dealer. That was all spiritual. That was all spiritual. Traded an arms dealer with, with the homo. That was the prized possession of each side.
They one of ours.
Right, yeah. On the side of Russia, they valued them.
Yeah.
On the side of Russia, they valued their weapons.
Look on the bus.
Yeah.
On the and then got the weapons maker.
Right, so you say, give me that, and you give me this. Russia valued the weapons, you know, and America valued a fucking a thing, you know?
Come. It says the earth also. Come.
No, continue on that.
Okay, slide.
Continue on that. Oh, yeah, that was good.
Back in that word.
Because that was actually like a blacksmith. Yeah, that's good, yeah. Well, that spirit, as we were speaking, the bus came out with the Vulcan on it, man. And he had the arrow in his hand.
He lead in turn, exactly.
He lead in turn. Yeah. Oh, no, so like that was on the definition. No, I was saying continue on the
Okay, slide. Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 5. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Under the influence of the Edomites. This is the worst case scenario, man. You know, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. That's why it tells you that in the book of 2 Peter, 3rd chapter. Matter of fact, somebody get that out. 2 Peter 3 and 10. Because this is the solution to this problem. That this place got to be violently overthrown. You can't vote nobody in. You can't come up with your black dollar or no stupid shit like that. The best way to get out of this situation is for the Lord to destroy this place, man. You know, and we see it. We see it, this process. Which even when the destruction comes, it's not going to be a reckless, it's going to be a clean, precise thing because it's actually going to cleanse the earth, you know, the air and shit like that. You know, somebody come wreck the house, holes in the sheetrock and shit. No, when the Lord destroy this place, it's gonna be better for the earth, man. It tells you that it's gonna be refreshed pretty much. You know, you got it.
This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise,
It's going to pass away with a great noise, you guys.
and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
And the only thing that can do that in this realm, that can cause that, is those missiles, man.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the thermonuclear missiles. See, this is the fate of America. This is the cure to the cancer. And the, Brother Corner Washington. You know, this is the cure for it, man. Because like I said, you can't. This place can't bounce back. Jeremiah 51. She is what it said, Babylon is how it goes, Jeremiah 51. She is falling. Can't get, you know, she have not been healed. And she can't get up, man. You gotta go up. But that destruction gonna submit that downfall. You gotta go.
Okay, I say too, I can add to that. When you read Matthew the 12th chapter, it speaks about a house being divided. The house goes into Esau, Edom, that flesh, flesh on flesh, bone on bone. So that house divided symbolizes that flesh being divided. That's that wound, that deadly wound. In Jeremiah, not the deadly wound, but the one in Jeremiah 51. All right, we will have healed her. So that's a very deep wound. You know, like you have a grave, right? A grave wound. That means that you can't be optimistic. You say, you know what, we can't heal this situation. It's deeply divided. All right, that nation is deeply divided. Esau, in which that was an act of justice. They used that age-old formula, divide and conquer on us. What's that? The Willie Lynch, right? So the Lord, in the act of justice, used that same formula on you. So that's a part of the withering, the cracking. The diagnosis is, hold up. There's no coming out of this. I can't be optimistic about the future of this place. Look at the wound here. And that's going to go back to that Isaiah 24 as well. All right, yeah, come on, you got it. Oh, no, you hold it.
Oh, no,
You got it.
The earth also and the works that are that therein shall be burned up.
So yeah, work for this devil from the NBA. There ain't gonna be no such thing as a Britney Griner no more. You know, the trends, even the thought process, that shit gonna be burned up, man. There ain't gonna be no such thing as an atheist. You know?
NBA, NFL, even these sitcoms, these stupid ass forms of entertainment and shit. Like you might, in your downtime, you might watch some crazy shit, but then eventually you get vexed at it. First you start hating that shit, man. Right, brother? I know, yeah. The Apostle Paul, that not hating. You got fucking Family Guy. That's a glimpse into the mind of Esau, man. Really a child. There's no filter. But what he do, being a deception, energy of deception, right, the deceiver, he'll frame it and package and present it to you in the form of a cartoon. So it'll be somewhat of a soften the blow approach, where it's easily received because it's in an animated form. When they talk about homos and everything that's detestable and perverse, abominable, wicked in the sight of Yahweh Shah. Yeah, man, I want to say something too, man. If you are on the fence and you still kind of, man, just go, man. Because Esau, all right, and all his works, which we can go into a long laundry list, it provokes us to come out and speak against it. And you look at us like we crazy because we dedicate hours. We'll be out here a couple hours, Lord willing. And the majority of that rallying cry or our complaint will be geared towards Esau. And that should make sense to people. Because it's not like, you see what I'm saying? That should make sense to you. It's not like he's like, oh, hold up, man, bring that Bible again. This nation did what? No. By us getting on Esau and you can see his obvious offenses, this should be like, oh, this is it, man. So that's a disclaimer, man. The hell with you if you don't really quite get it. You can't wrap your mind around the idea of so-called white man being the devil.
He gets Esau, that means before his ass, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hey, man, that was perfectly said, bro. Shit, if you ain't for this, if you ain't for what we doing, shit, meaning what you get Esau then.
Right.
Hell out of here. Like you said, get the hell out of here.
Come on, man. Like, even his anime, he show you he behind all the wickedness on the planet. He put his stamp of approval on it, bro.
This is 2 Peter 3.
Oh, you got that?
This is Matthew 12 and 30. He that is not with me is against me.
See, and that's why I tell you that in the book of 2 Corinthians, that pretty much you can't come into this because the shadow of Esau is upon you. Because you ain't got to have American flag flying out your house. It's in your mind. Because you got a 10-year plan. It's still in laws of America still being here, man. So, you nigga won't get it because of Esau, man. He loves this place. He loves this condition. You know?
Even niggas are friends. Right? They don't want to fully commit to what we're pushing for because there are plans involved with Esau later. You know what I'm saying? In order for your little girl to meet your aspirations, that means the college got to still be here. Because you want to see her go to college. Right? And that means Esau have to be here. That's why you encourage to be as a pilgrim, man. To see the shadow of this world. Somebody can hold that too.
And he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad.
And you see the gathering, man. Be under by the word of the Holy Yahweh, man. He hold fast to his word, you know. And that makes us be against this world, man. That's why I tell you the love of the Father is not in him. Meaning you don't really get this message, man. Because if you really did, you'll hate this thing. You'll hate this brother.
Hey, wasn't it commanded to a prophet by the name of Ezekiel? What the scriptures say, set thy face against Mount Seir. So guess what? That's the same spirit that we're in, man. Because that's a commandment, man. Why would you set your face for something that's wicked? Such as America, man. Mount Seir is speaking of America, man.
This is 2nd Ezra 2, starting at 34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand.
So yeah, that's when we was in that mindset. We was under the shadow of Esau. So we was once heathens, man. But it said those that hear and understand and show you that it's not talking about the Esau. That's not talking about a Moabite, Edomite. That's talking about the Israelites, man. That was given the gift of understanding, that gift of faith. You know, those are the ones that's going to actually hear and understand. You got it.
Look for your shepherd.
And that's what we're doing. This is part of it, you know. Process in, you know, go to the women, being prepared, that bride being prepared for her husband, man. You got it.
Yeah, can I say, we looking to our shepherd, you guys looking to 10-year plan. That's what it is. Because deep down, your energy revolves around your dreams and desires. That's why, hey, even the scriptures say that. I will give you the desires of thy heart. You know, a guy that's out there practicing jump shots, his desire is to be in, you know, the NBA. So, well, we looking towards Yahweh Shah, right? That goes into his testimony, the prophecy, and what they entail, the world of come. So in essence, we looking past this place. Oh, that's that long range approach, that vision, that push. where you can peer out to a whole other world. That's heavy. Like, only thing y'all see, only thing y'all see is street lights and the art. Like McDonald's, you know what I mean? In the city. Yeah, that's all you see. But we actually can see a place where the streets will be paved with gold, you know. All right, we can actually see the people on this side, the elect amongst these people, meaning the governing body, right? We can see those spirits having dominion over their enemies. That plays on your outlook on things. You know what I'm saying? Our rallying cry don't include America. Like, you can see some of the hardcore Jake movements, and at the end of the day, you put a mic. So what's the thing? We want more fun. Yeah. We want more opportunity. You know, you're still in the realm. You're in the wilderness just going in circles. Well, our desires have nothing to do with this world. It transcends this system. Yeah, come on, you guys out.
Look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest.
Yep, it's the beginning stages. Tells you that we receive this. This is going to lead to everlasting life. But that rest began in your mind. Read St. John the 14th chapter, concerning the comfort. When it said the peace I leave with you is not as the world gives you. Then it says, let not your heart be troubled. So that's what we're resting in. By the way, this big. You got it.
For he is nigh at hand.
And this, see, and that scripture make a whole lot more sense now, man. Because this is when it was meant to be read. Also because it's playing out. Nobody says God's going to say a word, it's going to happen in the same lifetime pretty much. You know? You got it, right?
For he is nigh at hand that shall come in the end of the world.
And what world is that? The world of evil. I did tell you that in the book of
Come on, man. Heaven, bro.
the scripture says the book's going to be open in the firmament at the end of the world. So
Right.
you can read, I think that's 2nd to 6th chapter, the end of the world of Esau.
Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore.
See, so it being ready to put on these garments, you know, which is in your mind first, having this truth, and we're preparing ourselves for the Lord. Yeah, right.
Flee the shadow of this world.
And that's the process. We gotta leave from this place, not physically, but mentally, man. Because guess what? At the end, you can go somewhere on the other side of the world. It's still a McDonald's there. So you can't flee that place physically, even if you did. It begins in the mind, just as the other brother mentioned on 2nd Ezra 16th chapter, being that pilgrim, the buyer, and not, you know, that seller still lose. So we're not putting our stock into these places. But it said, flee the shadow of this world. You know, the influence of this man. Oh, that was, and that tells you that Isaiah 10th chapter, it talks about that line being drawn in the sand. In that day, you shall no more stay upon him.
Right.
And it's a process today, you know, as well, by the way of escaping the ideologies. But even when the jab came, that was us that stand upon him, man. You know, certain restrictions you couldn't do, you know, you was restricted without having that jab, so we ain't on that. We stayed on the Holy One of Israel. What happened? You don't see nobody wearing face like you still catch a few on, but you ain't gotta have the jab now.
Yeah.
You know.
Jeopardize everything. Motherfuckers dying. Hey, motherfuckers dropping dead too, man. Yep.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 50. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still. Remember the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shah far off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind.
Yep. So it says if you escape, when you escape the sword. And that's really the so-called white man, Esau Edom. You know, weird, because that, just having that thought, because of these doctrines of the sword as well, man.
Yep.
You know, and it grew into that little sword. You know,
Going back to what you were saying, it says, remember, that's remembering the old path afar off, man, here in America, right? When it came to where in your mind, going back to what you were saying earlier, you see what I'm saying? Because that's how you come from up under that shadow. That's how you come up. What is a shadow? A shadow is meant to what? Shade you from the light. That's how you come from up under the shadow. You know what I'm saying? You read Book of Jude, verse 7, it say, everlasting chains under darkness. Meaning what? You under Esau Edom system. Now we, a small group, we still in the chains, but we're not under that darkness, which is that shadow. So that's why, what is that? Isaiah speaks about the woe unto them that trust into the shadow of Egypt.
Right.
Right? So it starts in your mind. That's just the point. It starts in your mind.
And it say, can I say too? It says escape the sword. Like that goes back again, like to Esau in his lifetime, man. From the ends of the world. Now that complements also 2 Peter 2. He who escaped the pollution of this world. So once more being entangled. All right. So matter of fact, somebody can get that real quick. It just lends credence to what the brother said as touching the sword of Esau. See, hey, again, Esau's blessing ranges. It's not just a physical sword. That sword, it extends over to something as extreme as a hypersonic missile, to something as subtle as a doctrine, and everything in between, like needles, right? Jab and the device of Funyuns. Funyuns is a sword. Newport 100s. Like the guy who said King Davis, I'm smoking a Newport now. Yeah, man. And I want to mention, but he came through that time, and he brought us up, bro. We ain't never show love to you, bro. All right? And we didn't think he was King David either, though. See, we justified. It's not like you came with that shit up there. Up there. You didn't come up there. You didn't come up here
with that shit.
Snuck up there.
Motherfucker.
And you act like you the brother.
Yeah, he did,
but
man.
you never took the stance of being King David.
Yeah,
so hold up. Why would you tell us if you King David? Why would you? To whom what it was saying? To whom I owe the pleasure. I mean, why wouldn't you come and oblige us, man?
All on the book bag. All on his shirt.
But I just want to throw that out there, you know. That's the sword, bro. But also doctrine. Yeah, go ahead real quick.
2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 20, for if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior.
But see, through the knowledge. So that proves that there's a form of pollution that's referred to as a certain knowledge, ideology, philosophy. That's a pollution. You people sick, you're under the influence because you move, you dance to a certain beat. You're swayed by a certain doctrine that's actually a pollution. Why? Because Esau the one who presented it to you. Well,
and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach, they are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning.
Right, so let's say you come into this truth, you see the light, and then you're entangled once more with different beliefs that's not in harmony with what we teach. Then guess what's going to happen? Your latter end, because prior to being into this thing, the Lord had a judgment for your ass. But you escaped that, see? And now, that judgment is going to be worse. You're going to be beaten with many stripes. See? But what's the point? It was the pollution of the world. And the only way to escape it is what through the knowledge of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, proving that a form of the sword is these doctrines. You shouldn't take it light that you got this information, man. You better hold on to it, because as long as you're holding on to this, you're not holding on to that. Hey, it's like, hey, remember, you're in a dire situation. You're in the pit about to fall, and you know, it's a latch right here. You can either hold on to this or that. Ain't no in between. So you better hold on to this, because if you don't hold on to this, then that means you got to hold on to what Esau's telling you. Well, you can't serve both.
You can only
Well,
hold.
either you lay hold to the what, right?
You took it right out of
Yeah. And that laying hold is your mind. Yeah, like the brother read about remembering.
Yeah.
Now, that's heavy is known as your memory bank.
Yeah.
That's where you hold fast to things. That's where you hold fast to something. If you got it filled up with this, how you going to add this?
Smallest tribe in Africa.
You know?
Smallest amount of people in Africa that are actually.
Right. That's right. That's right, brother. That's right. It's actually living like the Africa. Y'all know. They were scattered throughout the 4 winds of the earth. And you can't take him like, he probably up all night doing. Yeah, he's driven, man. Yeah.
That's a $100 point, there, bro.
That's probably the only thing he could come up with. He probably had a whole presentation. When he got here, he forgot about it. He's been working on that shit for a month. And he came, he had something, he got here, forgot all about it. You know, one thing he said. Yeah. Yeah. It's tripped up too. Yeah. Real talk. See right there? See that? That's that stone of stumbling. Yeah, real talk, bro. But you think of something in his mind, you seen it, and he tripped up, he stumbled on that, when you stumble on something, you get pissed.
I'm surprised we ain't see that bitch stumbling and shit we carry stuck up in this goddamn.
Oh, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna be. Yep.
This is 2nd Esdras 2:36. Flee the shadow of this world. Receive the joyfulness of your glory.
See? So that was you're gonna flee the shadow of this world and receive the joyfulness of your Lord, which is the truth, man. You got it.
I testify my Savior openly.
Sin is not. You got it, now.
Oh, receive,
So you gotta continue
oh, receive the gift that is given you.
See,
And
which is this truth, man. This that guilt, man. It starts with this. This is what's gonna lead into everlasting life.
Yep.
You know?
It's like, let's take John 14. Bubbling up. Eternal life. And that's heavy here. Receive. You know, someone's sick, take this. You know, receive this with joyfulness, man. Because this is the engrafted word, which is, hey, matter of fact, go to that and go to the blue letter. Because you have a lot of disgruntled guys, you have guys that come up against the instruction. That's equivalent to being sick. And I give you the prescription, and you, with your last strength, slap it out my hand. You know what I'm saying? Then what? You die. That's why Yahweh Shah said at Solomon, all that hate me love death. Because that's what's at stake. Hey, yeah, that's what's at stake. Here it is. You on your deathbed, and what's at stake is life or death. And if only Israel knew, that's why Yahweh Shah spoke about that in Luke the 19th chapter. If you only knew the things concerning your peace, they don't know this is a scene that's about to get heavy. Lord about to open up on Israel again. I don't care how modern it look out here. Give it down because you got phones and shit like that. The ancient power of Israel, man. The king of terrorists still got a controversy against Israel. And he gonna bring it out on him in his lifetime. And the peace offering will believe on the Savior. That there was an entity that could make an intersection and kindle things between you and the Most High. But the only spirits that was going to hearken and yield to the instruction of the Father will be the elect.
Hey, those are the only ones that were going to do the work of the Most High, man. What is that, St. John 6:29?
Right, yep.
How do we do the works of the Most High?
That's it right there. You might want to get that.
Come.
Somebody hold that. Hey, the books on the Spirit, y'all already know it's like the wind. That's
Man, it's big.
That's just the Spirit emphasizing with that state, man. You about to go into some heavy times, bro. It's time to prepare your mind. You know, you don't have to have a big, but like you just dress. You gotta have a moment, right? But inwardly, you're at the point now where you should be in the spirit of anticipation, man. You know, understanding what's about to befall the planet Earth. And the only exit plan is Yahweh Shai. And now that could be said, we can say that, but how do you carry it out? Well, by believing on the report. Matter of fact, you got it.
This is St. John 6, starting at 28. Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of Yahweh?
Yeah, it said, what should we do that we work the works of the Most High, man? And that's an intense question, man. So hey, that's pleasing the Most High, man. If by default you're gonna please Yahweh Shai, right? But the way the Most High got it set up, you gotta please Yahweh Shai to please Him, man. That's why Exodus 23 says what it says, man. Because guess what? We all in the sight of the Most High are fucked up, man. So this is how you please the works of the Most High. Because one would think, oh, I'm pleasing the Most High. Read it up. No, you got it, bro. You got it, bro.
You read and show you that was the elect required. Because you read Proverbs the 8th chapter, it talks about how Yahweh Shai was the light of the Most High.
That's it, bro.
And
That's it was the light of mine. That's it. That's it.
So they show you
Yeah.
built like it.
That's it.
That's
it.
It's
And who built you like that? Go ahead. But hey, the ingredients was given from the top to the master builder. You know what I mean? Who works are you working for? Bro?
This is St. John 6 and 28. Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of the Most High? Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, this is the work of the Most High, that ye believe on him who he hath sent.
So yeah, that's a commandment. It's a commandment to believe. To trust in the report talks about the law of faith. It's a commandment. And that was going to please the Lord, tell you it's impossible to please him without faith. And that show you that it's just not going to be nothing of this realm for you to believe it's going to be from the heavens, man. So it was going to be the only one that is going to listen is the elect. That's why we're supposed to be a part of that number. But that's why I talk about Zion is going to sound like my holy Mount Zion. Because those are the ones that's going to actually hear and believe. And that belief is going to actually going to come with it if you really believe. You're just going to sit on this is the form of it right here.
Real quick. Yep. Hey, know why Yahweh Shai said what he said? Blessed. Matter of fact, get it real quick. St. Matthew 13. When he speaks about how you be converted and healed. See, that's the separation. Like you said, Joel 2:1. Blow a trumpet in my the sound of the alarm, Salakia, in my holy mountain. See what I'm saying? Hey, that's heavy. You said that. You know what I'm saying? Sound of alarm, my holy mountain. Because those are the only ones gonna be able to be converted and to be healed. Yahweh Shai said it.
There's no one's gonna hear it.
There's no one gonna hear it. That's the bridge to being saved.
Right.
Is hearing. Read it, bro. Matter of fact, where you at? 13 and 15. I want to say 15. Matter of fact, yeah. Matter of
Can I
fact,
say too while you're looking? The scriptures say, let Zion be joyful in their king. That goes back into what you read earlier too with the spirits who would look into their shepherd. All right? That all goes hand in hand with believing on the report. Because Yahushua is the report, man. And that's why, again, it says receive with, and we're going to go back to that, receive with meekness and gratitude. And the other one y'all mentioned too, flee the shadow
That's right.
and receive the joyfulness. That receive goes into believe. All right? When you receive something, that means you believe it. That's why Yahushua will often make the statement, if you can receive it. That's on par with saying, if you can believe it. You got it?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead,
Oh, there's something right here.
Yep, 14.
This is Matthew 13 and 14.
Hey, and this is, just to set the stage real quick, this is Yahushua speaking to the disciples, right? Because they asked him, you know what I'm saying, why are you talking to them in parables, man? Go ahead, bro.
Matthew 13 and 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah.
Because really what was going on, that prophecy was being fulfilled, man. Right? And Yahushua wasn't doing it for no reason. He had to fulfill prophecy, man. Why? Because they were going to get a gauge of who can get it and who can't get it. Meaning what? Who wasn't confident in having the Holy Spirit. That's how you understand. Without the Holy Spirit, you can't understand.
Yeah, and that's going to cost you your life.
It's going to cost you your life.
This ain't like a platform for debate or a drop the mic moment. No. If you don't get this is the one information that you don't get is going to prove to be fatal.
Which said, by hearing.
Say real quick, hold that, go to Psalms 98 real quick so I can get it. Psalm 98 and 2, isn't it? It's 78, I believe. I believe it's 78, yeah, Psalm 78. Because just to add to what the brother was saying, they didn't, Yahushua was fulfilling biblical prophecy when he was speaking over their head. There wasn't nothing random. Everything was going according to plan, man. That's how this is secret. That's what Amos, the 3rd chapter, right? Amos, the 3rd chapter, the Lord would do nothing, but he revealed his secret unto his servants, the prophet. So, yep, I got it.
Good. I started verse 1.
Yeah, start at verse 1.
Good. It says, Psalm 78 and 1, give ear, O my people.
Oh, there I go again. Right? That's that holy mountain, man. And it always been that way. Everybody never gave ear to Yahweh Shah. Why? Because the Lord roared you, first of all. To hear the Lord is because he predestined you to hear it. He wanted you to hear it. And it was for his pleasure. Now, like the Apostle Paul even made mention of that. The Lord has revealed certain, things to heathens too. But it was an effort to fulfill his will. But ultimately, the Lord has touched, this destruction, this lifetime, things that's coming to pass. Just like in the old world, it was enclosed, it was secret. It wasn't entrusted with everybody. So you see where that goes back to prophecy. This is the overtone of prophecy right here. Read it again.
Good. Give ear, O my people.
My people.
To my law.
Matter of fact, real quick, click on that word here.
Okay.
We out here, man. I mean, hey. What else
That word here, Strong's H238, it says to hear, listen. It says to give ear, to be obedient.
Right, to be obedient, that has an element of instructions to it. Keep that in mind. Well,
it says hearken. It says to hear or listen. In the Strong's, it says by implication to listen, perceive by ear.
Perceive by ear. So, yeah, so
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yeah, to perceive. Just said, give ear my people, or my people get it. Only my people get this. Oh, that goes to the change relationships, where there's a cutoff, there's a disconnect. So there's certain spirits in Israel that can get it, man. And that's why this modern Israelite thing, like that's offensive, you know, to especially like you come up from a certain era in Israel where it was like, you know, hardcore fundamentals to certain things. These guys just out here, man, with fringes, and they don't understand the you know what I mean? The multiple revelations that the Lord have allowed us to get that's going to submit our alliance with him and ultimate salvation, man. They don't understand the magnitude of this moment because the Lord's favor was submitted through him giving us his wisdom. You don't prove that? Hosea the 4th chapter, man. See? Hosea 4 and 6, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. So how did the Lord combat that? You know, by causing us to live, not perish, but through the act of wisdom. So that's why you hear this being promoted. Give ear, O my people. We looked up the word here, to proceed. Because you're going to be presented with a heavy form of teaching. All this shit you thought you knew, you throw it out the window, because now you're going to be presented with a heavy form of teaching. You know, that can dictate whether you live or not. Go ahead.
Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable.
Read that again.
I will open my mouth in a parable.
See, I will open my mouth in a parable, man. That's a prophecy concerning Yahweh. And hey, they didn't really get it initially. Remember, they came, even the disciples, they came to the Lord and said, why speakest thou unto them in parable? When it went back to prophecy, man, it was prophesied that the Lord would speak, and, you know, it would be shrouded in mystery.
I will open my mouth in a parable.
See, I will open my mouth in a parable, man. So you see, but that's not a new idea, all right? Proving that when Yahweh Shah was speaking over the people's head, it wasn't just some random act. He was going according to the script, man. See, go ahead.
I will utter dark sayings of old.
See, I will utter dark sayings of old. And that's what's on display now. So if you can truly get it, that means you have the ability to digest and perceive dark sayings. This is what has proven to be really the driving force behind his ministry. Right? It goes all the way back to Yahweh Shah when he came among Israel. Oh, what scripture say? The darkness comprehended it not. Because that was always the formula, man, how the Lord set forth. A king don't want everybody to come in. You gotta either know somebody, you know. Like how you end up in the party, in this prestige party. That means you was invited. Everybody else can't get there, man. Yeah, and some people got in. They snuck in too. They show you how bad this right. They show you how bad this gathering is. Anybody who's anybody there. Right, yeah. It was so bad the motherfucker snuck in, man.
Hey, what is that? St. John, 10th chapter. He that climbeth up some
Other way, yeah.
Right? Like the other
yeah,
said.
West End State,
see what I'm saying?
Hey, everlasting life.
That's just no pressure. You on the kick, yo.
But you snuck in with somebody.
You know what I'm talking about?
You snuck in on the side. You came in with somebody. You know what I mean? I'm with him, you know what I mean? You got your way in there, man.
Coming in, you know what I'm saying?
What happens is Yahweh Shah scours the room.
Yeah.
That's why, and what happens when you kick a person out? They go out in a ruckus a lot of times.
Real tough.
Let me go, motherfucker.
I'm kicking this shit.
What that happened with Chris Brown? Who was Tiger? He got jacked up and came out the party. He was embarrassed. So he was talking shit to the security. Let me go, motherfucker. And that's what happened to you guys. That's why Matt, he lost it because he was being brought out of the party. And I'm just giving you a vivid illustration, man. You wasn't invited. And you know in your spirit how heavy it is, man. That's why you cut up on the way out. Because what's at stake, man. And not just him, a lot of these guys. Now, you might have some, they might say, well, hold up, who are you? And put them at the back. And then the Lord will come in, what's the parable? The Lord will call them up. So that seat is for him. So it's a prestige gathering, man. And then the Lord make his rounds and he scour you, man. And then, hey, because that's the process of gold. It's a point where you actually have to put eyes on it. Yeah. Yep. Well,
This is 1 Corinthians 3:18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise.
Like the elder was saying earlier, man. All that shit you thought you know get thrown out. You know, when you come into this truth. It speaks of it being a double-edged sword that cut even the bones and marrow, you know what I'm saying, cut down to the spiritual man. Right? So when you come into the truth, you could have been a professional electrician. You could have knew all about chromosomes and, you know, you could have messed with shit of the world. Neutrons and electrons and protons. You know what I'm saying? You get your ass cleantron when the word hits you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. It show you ain't no shit. Woo. You thought you knew something. You might have been on a level though. I ain't saying you was stupid. See, that's what I'm trying to say. I ain't saying you was stupid and you wasn't on a level. Oh, yeah, I see him. That's why I'm looking. Yeah. All right, bro. Hey, look though. When you be consistent. Boy, I tell you, he got fruit. Man, he got fruit. That's where I definitely go. That's where I take it right out. He got fruit. You know what I mean? But anyway. Yeah, man. That boy got fruit. He ran his fruit with me. Oh, man. He got a whole game, boy. Boy, I got him a camp now. That boy got him a camp now, boy. I tell you. That's good. You see that? Hey, go ahead, read it again.
1 Corinthians 3:18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world.
Yeah, seemeth to be wise in this world. That's why I say, you know, you could have been a master, whatever. What? You could have mastered whatever, man. You could have been top notch of any level of this world. But go ahead.
Let him become a fool.
Yeah, let him become a fool. Meaning what? Once this truth, when you hear this truth, and if you can receive this truth or perceive this truth, all right, if you can grasp it, with your mind, if you can comprehend it, you're gonna be made a fool. It's gonna cut you. Just simple terms, it's gonna cut you.
To add to that too, to become a fool meaning inquire.
Exactly.
That means like when you become a fool, that means I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what that means. You become a fool. You have to be as one that's willing to be taught. That's becoming a fool. A fool ain't as bad as
no.
Like when you've been trained on a job, you have become a fool.
That's it.
Because two people can't occupy that seat. Somebody got to occupy the teacher, and the other got to occupy.
What they call it? This is the blah 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 for dummies. That don't mean you, like you said, that don't mean you stupid.
Right.
You just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you consider it a dummy. You know what I'm saying?
That's just like if you drive and somebody gives you directions, you have become a fool.
That's true.
How you go? You wise too. In that essence, you have become the fool. He's the teacher. He's educating you. You know. And that, matter of fact, that goes to the idea of receiving. Receive with it. Matter of fact, you got that meekness. Go to that real quick. I want to go there, and I want you to look up that word from the engrafted. Read that one time.
This is James 1:21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul.
See, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul. All right? Because superfluity goes into pretty much doing too much excess. All right? You can't do that when you're being taught. When you become a fool, you're being cultivated. You're being You gotta be shaped and fashioned and groomed, right? Other than that, here it is. You breaking something down, and they telling you.
Yeah.
And that's why men like that get rejected. Oh, you remember Chaser, right? He had that spirit. Chaser, right? He had that spirit on. Like, you telling him something, he said, yeah, that's right.
Real tough.
Go to,
But don't the scripture say,
oh, yeah, he did that. I heard it before he did that. But one of the elder brothers, of the camp told him, hey, to kind of fall back to just that familiarity. Then he came with a precept. He said, he came in. Yeah, the scriptures also say, where the door, find a man of wisdom, where his verse 3 times. That's not receiving the word. You can't be, that's going to be rejected by the Spirit. Because you have not become a fool. You have to be like, oh, okay, learn.
that's heavy, like you said, man. Hey, that's humility at its finest, bro.
Right, yeah.
To become the fool.
Right.
I mean,
And that's what we did.
Yeah, that's it.
But
That's it.
even to this very day, lessons come, a brother might do a lesson. If you don't, it wasn't nothing the Lord allowed you to see or whatever. If brother do a lesson and he open you up, he feeds you, you have to become a fool to get that. You can't say, well, hold up, man.
Give me this precept.
Yeah, well, bro, I think you should go to. Oh, it was a nigga left a message, man, on one of the brothers' comment boards. He went into this long damn paragraph. He said, man, I love your teaching, blah, 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 man. You expounded. He said, but, man, the great millstone, man, I still don't agree with in the kingdom, blah, 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 this and that. Yeah, I actually started today. I started coming today. But that's not receiving with meekness, because you have to receive this word a certain way. It's so precious, you can't get it the way you want. Like, all right, get it. I'll take it. No, motherfucker, it's a gift. And that gift is going to be it's going to, it's going to be desired.
Right.
Like, the father, he bring home a certain gift. And mind you, this father is all Lord. So he know what his son wants. So he bring that gift is going to suffice the son. He's going to see the gift and say, oh, this is what I always wanted. I always wanted to rule. That's what it is, bro. That's why we receive it, because this gift is for us. Lord willing, we are good to the end. We don't see the gift and say, man, we're going to treat people like that.
Kingdom is prepared for you. Those are the ones that participate in the kingdom.
Yep, they were designed to want to rule. And that's in Psalms 2. Remember when the Lord told our Lord, ask of me and I will give thee the heathen, right? It's not like he said, no, I don't want the heathen. I want to live peaceably with all men, and I don't want to be all equal. No, he wanted to rule over the heathen. That's why the Lord gave it to him. Yeah, come on, let's get that real quick.
The word is grafted, Strong C1721. It says, inborn, implanted by nature, implanted by others' instruction.
Implanted by others' instruction. That's the engrafted word. So you have to become a fool when it comes to instruction. Like somebody giving you directions or instructions, and this is what the word promotes, instruction. The Lord not asking you to do nothing. He's telling you to put down the fork. To stop calling on that name, JC. The Lord told you that when he allowed you to get the Hebrew. Why would the Lord allow you to get the Hebrew, learn the name, and you continue to call on Christ? You gotta say, real talk, it's like,
You gotta fight this
talk,
thing.
it's like nails on the
Fight.
Oh, Nathaniel Yawasaki doing that with his videos, like the word chip. He'll reverb sometimes. It's all backwards. That's how we do the same Christ. Yeah, but right? It's a instruction, man. See? Engrafted to receive our other instruction. And there's a method to that because it separates those who are truly humble versus those who are not. Because you can appear soft-spoken outwardly, but inwardly you can be a raging wolf or demon. But pretty much Scripture speaks about one of the qualities of the elect. What's that, Colossians 3rd chapter, and one of the qualities is what? Humbleness of mind. Meaning what? You're willing to yield and hearken to others. That's in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, where you're commanded to bow down thine ear to the poor. See? All right, go ahead.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. As newborn babes,
Yep.
desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Yep.
If I may, you got to be retaught. You know, as the elder been going into, you got to throw away everything of the world, man. All right? Those things are not what's going to profit you in the time we're entering. What's going to profit you is this doctrine, man. All right? And it says, desire the sincere milk of the word. So, you can't come in here with no what is the word?
Alternative.
Ulterior motive, man. You got to desire the sincere milk of the word. You got to actually have that put in your spirit to want to be saved. Right. It says that ye may grow thereby. But it's going to be a process. All right? You're not going to get it that first time. All right? But you got to show that growth. All right? That's what the Lord is looking for. You're not going to stay on that same level.
Yep. Hey, that's what's going to cause you to grow because you're going to receive it in its proper order. All right? First of all, you're going to have the right ground. What's that? Matthew 13. Certain seed fell into the good ground. The seed represents the word, that ground, they're the representation of your mind. That's why the scriptures say, he of a good heart, what's that, wisdom of Solomon? The one, get that real quick. That's how you link up the parable in Matthew the 13th chapter. You know, as far as getting an understanding on it. How I spoke about those different grounds, it was really different mind states. And the seed and the word, it couldn't take to other mind states. You know, that first one was the wayside, was it? Yeah. It said immediately the fowls of the air. That would sound familiar? That's the eagle. That really goes back to Esau. That's 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, where it says the God of this world have blinded the minds of them that believe it not. So it wasn't no foundation that you were just a nigga who was going off McDonald's and Jordans and, you know what I mean? Chicago, you know. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there, but that's just like the mold of how they present a nigga. But at that point, it was no soundness. Your mind, it was no soundness. So anything Esau pushing out here was going to cause you to not take the word. The other one was the stony ground. I think that one, it had not much roots, was it? Matter of fact, let's just get it. Let's get that. Got that other one there. Okay, come, let's get that out. You know what? We'll hold that and link it with this. Yeah, and you didn't design yourself. When the Lord created the earth, he created your minds too. That's a form of the earth. The different forms of ground. Spiritually, right? The spirit, the word is the seed, and your mindset, your reasoning is what takes the seed and either receive it or reject it. That's equivalent to the earth. Like the Lord built sandy ground. You can't plant a seed, right? You just plant a seed in dry sand. So the Lord created all those different grounds. So the Lord created, you know, more fertile places and other dry, desolate places. So you apply that logic with the Spirit. The Lord created certain minds that could take the seed and others that would not be able to take the seed. Solely based on the fact that it was designed, shaped, and fashioned by the hand of the Lord himself. What do you want to call for? You got to Matthew 13? Yeah, go on.
This is Matthew 13, starting at 4.
All right.
And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up.
Right, yeah. So again, the seed is the word. And what's that, Luke? Is that, oh no, that's actually Matthew 13, right? The seed is the word. No, that's Luke 8 in the Matthew. Hold that on there. Hold that on there. Try to make sense of this. Hey, because I gotta say, y'all, we just not out here for nothing. Right? The men before us, who labors we came into, they wasn't just out there for nothing. That was a strategic move by the Lord. That's how the Lord chose to gather you to deliver you from the destruction. You see that? So that's in the scriptures. And it goes into how volatile of a situation that is. And how we had no control over the fact that we was able to embrace this information. And others couldn't. Yeah, come on. What y'all started at the top? Yeah. Hey, go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 13, starting at verse 1. The same day went Yahweh out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying.
And that's going to say that. Remember, he's talking to them in parables.
Yeah.
This is another parable like we were talking about earlier. Many of them, right? And we know that many don't get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Only a few. That's why the scripture says only a few. Right? Go ahead, bro.
And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up.
Yeah, so the word, we often touch on that Isaiah 55, as the rain and snow descended. So it's coming from an authoritative figure. That's why it's falling on you. And like I said, Isaiah 55. You know, when something comes from up top, that means, you know, it was coming from an authoritative. You know, you at work, and just came from on top. That, you know, that frame, right? The authoritative overtone to it. So this word fell on the minds of certain Israelites whose mind and reasoning was considered the wayside. Right? Go ahead.
Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth.
Right, they had not much earth. They wasn't designed to take seed. They didn't have enough earth. They wasn't deep enough. Right? They didn't have the deep reasoning that's required. You know, not to say you go too deep. Just one deep is enough.
They're going to say they weren't one, but they weren't one.
Yeah. But they, yeah. Right? It couldn't take. Well,
And forthwith,
which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that word reasoning, one of those words, considering reasoning of inquiring or something of that nature, it goes into deep thought when you look it up. To be in deep thought. Because that's what you do, you know, you see someone and they fixated on a certain problem, right? Yeah, like the realism, the reasoning, you see the reasoning on the face. Well,
And what you said, deep thought. Motherfucker just settle for whatever washes toward the shore. It ain't nothing deep about it, you know what I'm saying? That's like what, ankle level, right? You know what I mean? Read that one more time.
some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth.
Yeah, you don't have much earth, man. You couldn't dig 6 feet deep. You know, fucking stick the shovel in and you hitting concrete. But you see ground, but you stick the shovel in and you see concrete, man. Go ahead, man.
And forthwith they sprung up.
You know, I'm an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? You know, one that like us, you trying, but you want to go 2 deep, don't even come 1 deep. They sprung up, man. Happy, you know, you run and tell, hey man, you know you're Israelite. You know you're Israelite. And sprung
You
up.
know, like revive a dead body.
Right. Oh yeah, exactly.
Shut up. You know what I
Came
mean?
in, hey, that's it. Sprung up.
Yeah, they sprung up. Yeah, go ahead.
Because they had no deepness of earth.
Hey, hey, you plant a seed in a just say you do a diagram and you have an inch of concrete and you have just say another inch of dirt and you plant the seed in the inch of dirt, but you got an inch of concrete and you got a foot of dirt. Which one you think gonna spring up first?
Right.
The one that had no depth.
Right, yep.
Stop. Go ahead, bro. Yep.
And when the sun was up, they were searched, Slaki. And when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had
that
no...
sun represents the hell.
Yep, exactly.
Right? The hell that you're going to catch for receiving the seed, which
Yeah,
is the word.
purifying process.
Purifying process. But if you ain't deeply rooted, you ain't got enough to support
Right.
yourself when the sun does start scorching you, which is the hard times. Meaning what? You ain't going to be able to stand because your roots ain't deep enough.
And then what are you deeply rooted in? The house shot.
And I was shy, man.
Which translates to what in this lifetime? The scripture.
Scripture.
Because why we got the Bible so? Why we got the Bible? So you can't really just be an Israelite afar. You have to be into the scripture. Yep. Because I was thinking about that. I actually was meditating on it earlier about water, right? Let's say like if you put water in a sink and you fill it up. Now, you touch the surface of that water, you don't put no pressure on it, then you're going to just be at the surface. You just touch the surface. That's how the scriptures is. You might read Revelation, you might read St. John 3, you might read St. John 3 and 16, and you just touch it.
Gotcha.
You just touch on it. But, right? But if you apply more pressure to it and go into it, you go deeper into the water. That's why scriptures is known as water. Yeah, you got to go into it. You got to be immersed, you got to be submerged in the work. That actually goes in the spirit and grounded in it. So at that point, when all hell breaks loose, you too deep in the scripture, bro. You know that, well, hold up, man. This shit gonna be destroyed anyway. It gets to the point where you don't even know the hell, just catching the hell now. And before you can think about the hell, a brother sent the article with a famine coming, man. And now you think about scripture, you're so submerged in your house shot to where nothing can uproot you.
That's it. That's your support.
Yeah, that's.
What it says in Psalm, he said be a tree planted.
I got you.
Oh, you got
by the river.
You got that?
Hey, go ahead. Because that's all you need.
1 and 3.
I remember what happened. What's that? What's that? Yeah, what's that? Who's that? He had the pun. He got the whole pun. Listen, Elijah. Listen. The Lord had a pun right there for him to pray. But yeah.
Ravens fed him and had a fun.
And that's this our pun. You know.
That's it, bro.
But you have to get immersed in it.
That's it.
You have to be rooted in it. That's why the parable says they had no root. They wasn't rooted in it. Well,
Psalms 1:1, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth.
And that's process right here. You're not walking by the ways of Esau, walking to his beat. That's a blessing, being pulled from that matrix. You know, just making your routine when you was in the world at the time. You know, that was the plan with the stuff. You got that.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Yep.
But
So, Lord, it's a blessing not to despise this. blessing for us to receive His word, man. You know, and because we don't have the influence of Esau on us now. The Lord has pulled us from it.
And can I say too, that counsel spills over into these, you know, obviously, these guys with these crazy doctrines, scoffers and foreigners, right? Which when you go into the word scoffer, it's worth looking up. It translates to false teaching, meaning scoffing, right? Scoffing stems from an ideology you believe in. So now, based upon that, you're going to leave a comment about the flat earth. You sit in the seat of a scorner. So blessed is the man who don't have that lot, man. Blessed to not have that lot.
And that goes back to not having any guile in your mouth.
Yeah, any guile in your mouth.
But that's guile.
That's guile.
That's guile. Yep. Dang.
It says, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do he meditate day and night.
And so get what? Hey, to meditate day and night, you know, that ain't just, you know, sitting there with candles, burning candles, Indian style, humming and shit, incense and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what you in the scriptures, man. You know, what is that, go in?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You in the scriptures, man.
St. John 10.
You know, day and night, meaning what? When you at work, man, you see something happen, a precept come to mind. Like, man. Not just saying you walk around the job and Genesis 4. No, I ain't saying that. But certain things somebody may say a precept may come to mind. But before you do something, the precept may come to mind.
That's it, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Meditate in.
You meditate in. You might be thinking about a lesson you watch.
Yeah, you watching the lesson.
Right. Or you watching the
Like
lesson. That's another thing. Watching the lesson.
Tuesday that morning and catch another one Thursday that night. You know, because it's even hard to catch on a lot of videos, you know. You know, you be able to get your read in or whatever you got to do it then. But hey, it adds to what you said.
No, come. You said it.
That's a part of meditation too, man.
I got something.
Okay.
Surah 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients, and be occupied in prophecy. So yeah, so that's pretty much how we're driven by now, is meditating on the words of Yahweh Shalom Shah, prophecy. You know, and brother mentioned the same, you know, somebody might say some scripture come to mind. You know, you get the reports of a family. You got scripture go in your mind, man. You know?
Yeah, All right, bro. Oh, no, you know what? I think I need to go on that other side.
Yeah. Go on this side around.
Yeah, this side.
Don't go all the way around.
Yeah, y'all good, bro. Y'all good. Y'all come through. Y'all good. Okay. Oh, no, y'all good, bro. All right. Thank you, bro. Yep, go ahead.
Surah 39 and 1, it says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof.
See, there go that word meditation again. You know, as the brother mentioned, you face with certain scenarios in life, you know, you have to make a split decision in a lot of cases. Sometimes you might have the luxury of thinking out, you know, what's in front of you. But either way, your reasoning revolves around what the scripture says. You know? What?
It says, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients, and be occupied in prophecy.
Yeah, it will be occupied. Oh, that's what it really develops. The outlook of prophecy. Hey, and that's what your meditation shall be. You know, your mind should be preoccupied with what's about to happen. So that's another level of being in the spirit of one who meditates. And because like we always say, it rains. And even the knowledge of the Lord, it shows you the in-depthness of how the Lord gets done. Just look at his works. It ain't just one universe, or one star, one speck of dust, one human. And you know what proves that? When you go to, what's that? It's that second Ezra 2. Right, it speaks about the qualities of wisdom, and one of them being manifold. All right? So just like you might have a gem, let's say you got a stone, that prism, you can look at it, the light reflects from this angle. You turn it this way, it reflects that angle. You know? Go ahead.
You weren't gonna get it, but made it. You know what I'm saying? That's the spirit. You gotta get that.
No.
It's a simple Google definition for the word meditate from the Merriam-Webster. It says meditate implies a definite focus of one's thoughts on something so as to understand it deeply.
See that? Read it one more time. I'll go back to that song.
Meditate implies a definite focusing of one's thoughts on something so as to understand it deeply.
Need to understand it deeply, man. Meditate. Focus on it, man. That's what you do when it comes to the word. That's why I say meditate day and night, man. You focus on this. Your eyes single, right? You ain't letting nothing come between you and this work, man. And I'm talking about things that was important to you, things that may occur. You know, not saying you're going to drastic measures because the Most High ain't gonna put you through no life and death situation like that, right? But you're gonna be faced with choices, though, man. But if you single-eyed, right, you're gonna be meditated. Read it again.
What did I say too? That word focus.
Exactly.
That goes into fire.
Exactly.
That's what you get. Yeah. That's when you get like a concentrated beam laser.
Right.
That spills over to fire. Focus means to be on fire. So when you meditate, this word, your life, your universe revolves around this word. That means you're on fire.
Yeah.
Focus, you know. Your eyes are on. Oh, what's the scripture? So I want to say that Psalm 121. The eyes of the mistress is upon. No, the eyes of the maiden is upon her mistress. As the eyes of the servant is upon his master. Would that be something? Yeah, let that eye be single. That's that focus, man. That actually goes back to fire. Go ahead, you some more on that? All right, that was it? Oh, no, that's right. That was it on. All right, we can go back here.
Come. Psalms 1 and 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night.
Meditate day and night. So that's how we move now. Our decisions are made by the way of choice. Our diet, things that nature. But that's how we're moving now by the words of how by small shot. So that's part of that's that faith being played out. It's not just saying you believe doing it as well.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
So yeah, you're gonna be firmly established. You're gonna show that you believe. Your belief is gonna get to the point you know it. So if somebody told you know what McDonald's is, and somebody told you something different, you're gonna be hard-headed in righteousness, man. You know, touch those that stood still. So, but it says by the river. I mean, it's like you got it.
Come. It says, and he shall be planted. It's like, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
By the rivers of water. So we constantly getting water. You know, about watching videos, reading the scriptures. That was, like the elder mentioned, cultivating us. You know, I know in Pastor Raleigh used to do the series, the spiritual hydration. Yeah. So that's that was
You know what, too? Now that tree, if I may, that tree is actually those olive trees. That's the same tree. Now, the two olive trees, olive trees have the deepest branch. So if it's planted by that water, that means that plant, those branches, it's in that water. It's submerged. That's what has taken hold. So that's us. Lord willing, we endure to the end, man. We are planted. When you're planted, that means you're not going nowhere. Over the years, we've seen it's like that rotating door. You'd be like, okay, like, shit. 8 years ago, somebody was coming in. And 11 years ago, somebody came in before them. Then 2 years ago somebody came in, but you the constant guy. You still was there. That's being like a tree planted.
I get this word planet. It's
What can I say? That applies. If you wanted to have the figurehead, if you will, picture that in the dictionary, the apostles would meet that quote. Because there's been a lot of men that come and go, and they still been there. All right? Then you have the elders under them who get the test. Then you have the younger brothers who came in after that. We all gained that experience. But that place you in good company. That means you was the one first. Go ahead.
That word planet, it's like a simple group of definition. Definition 2, it says place or fix in a specified position.
Woo! Yeah, place or fixed in a specified position. Really, that specified position is Yahweh Shai in the scriptures, man. That's where we've been placed. We in the scriptures. That's why the Lord said, he that abideth in me. That goes into that same plan thing, The reason why it's a little friction probably between you and your uncle or everybody messed up, you ain't showing up at Thanksgiving or Christmas and stuff like that. That's because you was positioned and fixed in a certain place. The Lord placed them right here. Them right there. And he placed you right here. He placed you right here in Yahweh Shai. All right, was it more on that?
Finish off the, yeah, that was it on definition. Finish off the verse, it says, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season, his leaf.
It says, bring forth his fruit in what? Due season. What it says, his season. In his season, man. Right? Why? Because you planted by the rivers of living water. Just because the scripture speaks about trees as being men, right? If you planted by the rivers of water, if you notice a tree that's planted distances away from a river, and you pay attention to a tree that's planted by the rivers of living water, right? And that tree there there's no limit to that tree height or stature, right? Because it's getting all the nurturement that it got on a consistent basis. So that's how it's going to be, Lord willing, if we, those men, man, those elect men, meaning what? Infinite life. But that's what a tree planted by living water has, man. He ain't got to worry about dying. He ain't got to worry about the sun scorching. Unless Esau come uproot him. See what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That fruit show that there's life as well. And
That's it.
it's going to be stages where you want to advance in stages to its perfection.
That's it.
So you're talking about perfecting all the same.
Yeah, that's like your vineyard, like plant that seed, you cultivate it, because it's growing, That goes into that bubbling up, St. John 14 too. Bubbling up into eternal life. Just go ahead, finish that out.
It says, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season, his leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
Yeah, that's that life, man. All right, so let's go back to
Matthew
Matthew 13.
13, back at verse 6. I started at 5. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns.
They had no real support. They withered away, man. Like you said, they wasn't supported Yahweh Shai didn't support. They wasn't deep in Yahweh Shai, man.
Yeah, their reason they wasn't created to be like
They
that.
wasn't created.
That's what you get from it too.
That's it.
Because that's just like on the earth. There's every earth, all the earth can't be good ground. It have to be desert. It have to be rocky ground. See, boy?
And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them.
And again, this goes into the reasoning of men whose worries, or preoccupied approaches to school or their job or their women or their children. That's an idea that you can never get into the word. An outlook on things where you can never truly wrap your mind around the word because other things springing up in your mind. Read that again.
And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up
Sprung up, right? Go ahead.
and choked them.
Like God thoughts rise in your heart. Yeah, because those thorns are like thoughts come up in your heart that choke the word. Go ahead.
But other fell into good ground and brought
And now
forth.
the reason why, because when the scriptures actually break down those mindsets, that's how we know it's talking about mindsets. When you read on to it, it talks about, for example, the stony is the cares of this world. The thorns, the thorns, those are the cares of this world that comes up, where they can't fully commit to what the word got going on. Yeah, entangled. That's it. So that proves right there that those grounds is your mind. And the seed is the word. So when it falls on whatever mind, the way you was built, you can't help that. The Lord built you a stony mind, a hard head, then that means that seed can't take it. And we know because of the fruit. After you hear the word that you out here speaking, that means that it's a good chance that that was a good ground and look what it built into. They just started off in the corner somewhere and left and stayed there. It grew into something. Yeah, but not of the Most High, it come to nothing. Yeah, go ahead.
But other fell into good ground
But the words also fell into good ground. Go ahead.
and brought forth fruit.
See? And it grew, man. That means you started off struggling with probably smoking butts. Oh, well. Yeah, like I said, you might have started off struggling with blackened mouths or butts or something. But then you didn't stay on that level because it was good ground. The word really took and you started to grow. The fruit started showing. You wouldn't eat pork no more. You weren't smoking and drinking. You weren't thinking about adultery, none of that. You was driven by serving the house by yourself and reading. That's what good ground does. Naturally, it brings life. You can't stop that process. If I got good ground, I drop the seed right there. Over the course of time, it's going to grow into life. Hey, that's why the scripture, when it go into the breakdown, it said he endured for a while. We just saw that too. A guy come around with the gummy, and it looked like a flower, all right, in the vineyard, the colors. Yeah, when you have a shot breakdown, you got to read it and go into the breakdown of it. And it proves that it goes into the reading of it. It said one up here for a while. And then you know that stirs too, it's scriptures too. The heat, it's not my word like a fire. And some come out and you be like,
I was up all night until.
Yeah, we didn't left yet. You still thinking about it. We went into something at the 2-minute mark. And that root of good, or the sleep at that root of good. And then it's 2 weeks later, man. Now you at chasing. And your story written out now. But see, we still here, in the spirit, Lord willing. Lord, that's that tree, Read that part again, the last one.
But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit. Some an 100-fold,
Yep.
some 60-fold, some 30-fold.
Yep, and even Yahweh Shah spoke about the talent. All right? Which even that in itself heavy because the talent is just a difference. Don't get the numbers fooled. It's just diversity. All the gifts, right? But Salaki, can I say real quick, I want to do my thought on it. Go to Wisdom of Solomon. Let's link that together with this precept. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon 1:1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart.
See, read that again.
Think of the Lord with a good heart.
See, think of the Lord with a good heart. Right? That's the good ground. See? That's and that thinking, that's that. Hey, because when you toil, you break up the ground, you plant that seed, that's the mind working. Just like the ground being broken up, we plowing, right? And we breaking up your mind, just like our minds broken up. And that seed gets planted, and that process is you thinking, you inquiring, a lesson come out. Oh, you might take a dope.
Real quick, like you said, that's the process of you thinking.
Yeah.
It's the same. That's when your brain getting the wrinkles on.
Think of the Lord with a good.
Yeah.
That's it. Good. That's a great point. Great point. The wrinkles. That's that digging up the ground.
Broken up. Yeah.
It's getting broken up. That's
Like
why I said think
furrows.
of the Lord with furrows. That's yeah. Come on, man. Hey, call all that. Yeah, the Lord is a wonderful counselor, man. Yeah, because that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? And it said, think of the Lord with a good heart. That good heart is that good ground. So that seed is being cultivated by the thinking. The more you thinking, that seed is generated. But it is, you know what I'm saying? That's the ground working around that seed. Yeah. Hey, that's cold, bro. The Lord is beautiful, man. All right? The Lord is great in his works. We just seen but a spark, man.
True.
We marvel at the
spark.
Yeah, at the maturation of how wisdom play out. I mean, the things of teaching, betwixt teacher and student dynamic. We marveling at that. How the Lord did.
Right.
So how much more when you go into the creation? And how, Lord created the balance. Oh, we was talking about that, how you're told, like Esau, you got to be put down, all right? That's what it is, bro. Can't deal with you, man. Because they be watching us, you can feel the spirit. Like one of them sitting waiting on the answer, and I'm just, we got them motherfuckers sitting there, with a pill bottle. And he was hoping we didn't get around to him. You got to go, man, because you're not fit to govern over the planet Earth. When you consider these shoes, they have your toes and shit all crumped up, man. Your toes should be more flat out. Therefore, you can, it even helps your balance. Hey, because let's say like about place a lamp. You see a lamp, right? They have that wide base.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you're told, just like, the tripod. Yep.
Hey.
Thank you, Al.
Hey.
If you take it and you stump them together, then it's equivalent to you sitting something that's shaped, to a point and trying to get it to stand up. Right. Now what's going to happen is going to wobble. Right. And you don't even know. Your nerves is keeping you. You tilting this way and tilting that way, not unknowingly, but putting all the stress on your nerves and muscles. You ain't thinking about it because your brain just functions. But it's contributing to you tired, so in certain spots. And it all goes down until you're not being properly balanced. If you're properly balanced, then, and that's one of the many offenses of Esau. Go ahead, Al.
Like an elephant. You look at elephant feet. It's made like a 180. Like if you had a spear, you cut the spear in half. That's an elephant foot to support how big they are,
right?
And the height and stature.
All that's set up a certain way.
All those set up a certain way, and then like you said, like the tripod. You got 1, 2, 3. That's elephant feet.
That's how your toes, and you got the heel. Everything's set up the way it's supposed to be set up.
That's it. Hey, they put this fucking concrete down, like what you're gonna go into about the toes. They put the damn concrete down, so when even if you do take the shoes off and wear the wooden shoes or shoes that'll help the frequency in your body connect with the earth, they put concrete down.
Right. So it won't do that connect like like it's supposed to.
What you say? That's it.
Yeah.
That's really that's what it is. You gotta be grounded. That's it. The water. You gotta be grounded. That's what it is. It's just like it's like a positive charge. Like you take a battery, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to start the car if you don't get the negative charge and the positive charge to the right post. So that's the same with our bodies. We can't get the right connection. That's why we be feeling like you just said. It's hurt, this hurt. All balanced, laying
you're supposed to be connected with the earth. There's a layer right here.
You feel me? That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
And you can even see how your toes, like if you ever saw somebody like wear sandals a lot, and they got those toe prints kind of in there, but your toes, you don't even know that your toes actually, they grab it, man.
Yeah, that's true though.
That's right, yeah.
Hey, that's it real quick. Man, that's real quick.
They working to keep your body.
That's heavy. You said they grab it, but they can't because, like you said, they in the shoes, and they're putting certain.
And if you got on sandals, cool. But no, it's probably made from your badger skin. In the ancient world, some bad badger skin.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Sandals, man.
Sandals great.
And badger skin, that's a nice fabric.
Yeah.
You know, as far as like, durability. So, yeah, that's cool because, it's all with the earth.
Yeah, that's great.
You know what I'm saying?
You get grounded with the sound.
Yeah, you kind of get grounded. But just long story, not to get all deep into neutrons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because before you know it,
Scripture said the earth was made for the elect. Right? Scripture said the earth was made for us, right? You know what I'm saying? That's talking about Israel, man. See what I'm saying? So, like you said, you don't want to get all out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but all the points are valid. All that's valid. And we ought to consider those things. Scripture speaks about being wonderfully and fearfully made. King David said that. And certain spirits going to inquire about certain things like that. But we're going to understand, because deep down you give glory. Not deep down, but we open. We give glory to the Lord. Yahweh Shem Shah. Yeah, sincerely, we know that. The scripture says they worship the creation more than the creator. You have a lot of Edomites like that. A lot of people that, keep by science and whatnot. But see, we consider those things, and it's an effort to praise Yahweh Shem Shah. So that's why we were talking about the body, man. Praise the Lord, man. That's praising the Lord.
What the scripture say, right? All
to the glorification.
All the glory.
That's true wisdom how it goes up, man. Because it all goes back to the praising of Yahweh Shem Shah. Yep, go ahead. Let's go back to that. That's like that wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah, wisdom of Solomon 1:1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart.
See again, that's that good ground. So hey, that's heavy right there. The one that's able to think upon the Lord, meditate on the Lord, that's because you have a good ground, man. What? Or good mind. Say with a good heart. What?
No, you locked in. Meaning what, you magnetized. You know what I'm saying? You grounded.
Right.
That's why
that's that good heart. Good mind. Good mind. You can take the seed gun. What?
Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart, seek him.
And that go back to that pool. So that scripture from that pool or something, where it says, under the whole wine, you must first be a fool. That's what we just read. Read that again.
It says, think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart.
See, become as a fool. Simplicity of heart meaning what? You willing to be taught, Oh, that's what that means? Oh, okay. But if you deep in the heart, you questioning what we said. I mean, you're supposed to examine and search out matters yourself that's honorable. But you gotta receive the good. You gotta receive it. Right, you gotta do it with a good heart. Right. You can't be like, I knew it, got your ass. Got your weed right here. Hey, that's why you see these guys when they finally come out with their presentation. They think they being so deep, but they put on a performance for us. Like the judges of Israel, we just watching you. And this is what happens, right? Once you come up against us, you already got 10 precepts ready. That means you were putting the precepts together the whole time. You know what I mean? You didn't come up with the precepts on the fly the day you got kicked out. You already got a ready-made lesson. And you got this precept ready, that precept. That's because you didn't receive it with meekness. True. You were receiving it, but you questioning it, then, gotcha. You know what I'm saying?
This is what you're saying. You already got the precepts, like you say, you didn't have them the day you kicked out. What? Like you say, you didn't receive it with meekness. It's just like when you're telling somebody something. When you're telling somebody something, they ain't got shit to say. Done. But I'm telling you something, every time I tell you something, you got a rebuttal. Time I don't even get finished with my sentence. Yeah, this right here. Yeah, you're right. The precept said.
Yeah, that's a level of it.
You ain't
Yeah,
receiving
because,
it with me.
that's a level of it. Because we have seen that too. They'll come up, or you want to come to board, and like, well, hold up. Don't the scripture say this? But again, we went into that word grafted. It says what? Instruction, to receive one's instruction. See? Yep.
Done. So Psalm 101, love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord, Yahweh Shah, with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart, seek him.
See, in simplicity of heart, seek him. And that don't stop. That don't like, okay, back when I came into it, I was simple, I focused simplicity of it. Now all of a sudden, you're going up, no, that's a continuation. See? Because how you going to be able to learn or, absorb what the Lord is trying to show you? This is a process. Go ahead. Yeah. That's why guys get to certain stage, then they get to this stage. That's because they forgot to apply that simplicity of heart. Go ahead. Yeah?
For he will be found of them that tempt him not.
Right. So the Lord said he will be found of them. And that proves that the Lord is elusive. And that actually goes right back to those grounds. Because you can't receive it unless the Lord makes it. See? Well,
And show himself unto such as do not distrust him.
see? He shows himself in the scripture. But,
Man,
yeah.
you saw caught him all type of niggas today.
It says, for he will be found of them that tempt him not, and show himself.
And show of himself, that goes into the revelations, man, being entreated by the Lord, so to speak. All right, the Lord casting light on the dark sand. That's the Lord showing himself. All right, we know the plans of the Lord. Oh, what's that, 1 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, when we have the mind of Hamashiach. How does that play out? By having the ability to expound on the hidden things, scripture, man. You got
Scripture says, Lord, he looked up on the inner man. So that's how the Lord showed himself. He showed his thoughts,
So the rings of the heart.
Though I said he that glory that he know of and understand me. So that's how the Lord showed himself. He talked about it, unsearchable. So to show you that this is how my shine with no way we can get it, of our own strength with the Lord. But it was his thoughts.
Yeah, he's sharing his thoughts with us. In the form of the prophecy, understanding the prophecy. Yeah.
This might be saying 15 to 15. Got it.
St. John.
Hey, when you go into Revelation, the 3rd chapter, it speaks about Yahweh Shai supping with us. When you go into that word sup in the lexicon, it says what? To have a blissful intercourse. Right? Matter of fact, we can get it. Revelation 3rd chapter, when you go to the word sup.
That's like that breaking up that ground.
That's good.
Plant that seed.
That's true. Damn, that's a sup. Yeah.
With your mind is the belly. And that seed is impregnated. It grows, that life grows in the belly. Yeah? That's that intercourse. And then what happens? Then that water breaks forth, and then you have that deliverance. That deliverance. All that was set up in the spirit too, man. Like, we know that, but the scripture speaks about that. Like a woman in her 9th month, that maturation.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 20.
St. John 15 and 15, we're going to get that. Bring that out.
St. John chapter 15 and verse 15. Henceforth,
It's going back with the other brother was saying, man. Oh, you already got the new out? Okay, come. Right, so just going back to what the elder was saying, man. It was given. Going back to what it was, Amos 3 and 7, it was given. Right, you was let in on this. But first of all, you had to be a part of the good one, and that wasn't your will. Proverbs 20 and 24, man's goings are of the Lord, man. Right? What he told Jeremiah, before I formed thee, I knew thee in the womb, man. Go ahead, bro. So these are the only ones that's going to be able to receive this.
So they want that word substance. I like they changed that.
Go ahead, bro.
This is St. John 15 and 15. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you.
Yeah, so it was given, man. That's that love, man, that Yahweh Shai have given us. Right? Read it one more time, bro.
John 15 and 15. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth.
Right, so that's going back what? To Amos, the 3rd chapter. Go ahead.
But I have called you friends, for all things.
That applies to Noah, man. Noah knew what his Lord was doing. So Noah was considered what? A friend. And not Noah, well, Abraham was a friend. But would not Noah be known as a friend? Seeing that you see the mercy of the Lord? You don't save somebody's life as your friend. So what cemented that relationship? What created that alliance? Noah knew what his Lord was doing. And that's why Yahweh Shai even said that. You know? Hey, that placed us in good company, bro. That's the time.
But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you.
Right. So how did he make known unto us? By him supping with us. So I got the word sup. In Revelation 3 and 20, I'm going to read it first. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Goes to what? Your mind. Right? It says, if any man hear my voice, meaning to perceive, like the elder was going into earlier, be able to perceive and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him and he with me.
Yep, the Lord will come into your mind. And sup with you. That really cultivates that mind, you know. Yeah, that's that power in it. Tilling.
So the word sup in the Strong's G 1172 in the Thayer's Greek lexicon, it says, I will make him to share in my most intimate and blissful intercourse. When you go into the word intimate, all right, which is what? Intermediate setting, man. A close setting. And blissful, a pleasurable intercourse. Meaning to what? To come into you. To come into what? Your mind. But how do you come in? The door got to be open. All that represents your mind, man. And who can do that? The Most High through Yahweh Shai. You have no control upon that. So that's how Amos 3 and 7 is being put forth by Yahweh Shai. All right, having the blueprint, and the Most High giving the mercy upon you to allow Yahweh Shai to abide in you. Like we read St. John the 15th chapter. All right, it speaks about he that abide in me and I in him. Right? So you abided in Yahweh Shai 2,000 and some odd years ago by the mercy of the Most High. Now he have returned, that spirit has returned unto you, man. That's how you perceive it. Right? That's them grounds. Like you said, that's them grounds being you know how you do when you you are finna plant a seed, turn the ground over. Move some over here, move some over there. And that's an example of your pure mind being stirred up, man. You know, you bringing all those, man, y'all good. You bringing all the minerals up from the bottom, up to the top, man. You know, and planting that seed. To be able to house that seed and make that seed grow. Which is what? This word, man. And that's how you become grounded. Ground's got to have the minerals, you know, the moisture, you know, to house that seed.
That was an example of that found in the apple. Right? The garden, the land will be as the garden of Eden before the milk people that they join to. But I was going to say too, we desired, we really petitioned for this too, going back. The Lord granted us the desire of our heart. Remember 1 Kings, 3rd chapter of Solomon, you know, he even asked for wisdom. So at some point, we desired this. You know, prove that when you read, for an example, y'all brought it up, Matthew 24, tell us more of these things do. Acts, the 1st chapter, they asked the Lord without at this time before. That was desiring this understanding, you know? Thanks for it, bro. So guess what? The Lord, my bro. Hey, the Lord granted that will go to the gift. A man can receive that. So deep down, one of your incarnations, you desired the truth. You desired the full picture, man. That's what you got, man.
God. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 20. Therefore, the desire of wisdom.
See, the desire of wisdom, man. So the Lord met our desires by giving us this truth. Again, this is, everything is calculated, man. Not like it was just a coincidence. No, either you receiving the truth or the fact that you desire it. That's why you feel some form of comfort in this. Like I got what I was looking for. That's because deep down that ancient spirit desires for information.
It says, therefore, the desire of wisdom bring them to a kingdom.
Yeah, bring it to a kingdom.
If your delight be in and grows the scepters of the kings of the people, learn the wisdom that he may reign forevermore.
Right, and that's our desire, to reign and rule. So that's why the message makes sense. So everything came together perfect. We end up being a good ground because the seed, you know, it takes one to another. It's compatible. Good ground and the seed goes hand in hand. So the seed being the kingdom of heaven doesn't have to continue. Our mind being designed to want that, we took to the seed. And it's going to build up.
Ecclesiastes chapter 27 and verse 9. The birds will resort unto the light, so will the truth return unto them that practice in her. It's going back to what the elder had said, you know, in one of your incarnations, you heard this word, and it rested with you. So every time you came back, you had an inkling of the truth, all right, and it returned to you, and now we're in the perfection of that seed blossom. You know, your cup running over.
It says, as for wisdom, what she is and how she came up, I will tell you. It would not hide mysteries from you.
Right, so the Lord didn't hide mysteries from us. That's equivalent to the Lord revealing himself to us, showing himself to us. If we understand the power now who controls the elements, you know, think about that. We have been introduced to the power that controls the lives of your enemies. You know what I'm saying? It opens you up, it puts you on a certain level, man. See, because now you know the fate of the people. And what grounds you is your fate is still in doubt as well, because you pray that the Lord is going to deliver you. You know, so it keeps you grounded, like you was going into that. It's a certain mindset. That's how you truly know that your house shot been exposed. Well,
God, it says, I will tell you and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. Neither will I go with coming envy, for such a man have no fellowship with me.
yeah, so you have to be built like that to have fellowship with wisdom. You have to be a spiritual man. Oh, can we get that? Philippians, I think it's Philippians 2 and 1. So all men haven't been given access to wisdom. All right? True knowledge and wisdom of the Holy Scriptures that touching the wisdom of Solomon, Yahweh Shah. Come on.
This is Philippians chapter 2 and verse 1. If there be therefore any consolation in Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit.
See, if any fellowship of the Spirit. So this is a spiritual gathering. All right, the counsel and the entry point to the reasoning of the men of the Lord is based upon the Spirit. Meaning our outlook on things is not on par with the world. You got a famine creeping in. When you start seeing little, hey, you know, like a rat, you see rat trap. Uh-oh. Yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Good.
That Donald, man.
If there be therefore any consolation in Hamashiach,
Yeah, she stopped at 10 miles slower, man. Real tough. She going 60. Go ahead. Hey, but you know what? And I knew that they were stopping. Right? And the longer it was going to build, you know. Right. But that let you know the famine coming. And the plague stuff. You start seeing, But some got to happen. You stay, you know, like you can see someone headed to the snare. Now you say, oh, that rat, and the rat playing around the snare. That's what they did. They got snared by the house shot, man.
it says, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any vows and mercy, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded.
Right. You got to be like-minded. So that goes into what? Everybody being in harmony in this gathering. It's not a thing of someone pulling in this direction. And, you know, we believe this, but then this brother believe that. Eventually that'll get weeded out because it's putting that stress and tension on the body. And again, this is spiritual. It's not like we all physically, you know, physically building a house. And you see someone going against what the blueprint say physically kicking off the construction site. No, this is a spiritual building. So that tugging, all right, or pulling in the other direction is based upon, you know, the reasoning of men. That's why the scripture said the fellowship of the Spirit. All right, go ahead.
It says, having the same love, being on one accord.
Yep, see, being on one accord, having the same love, all right, the same understanding, the same wisdom. Go ahead.
Of one mind.
Of one mind. But what's the point there? Fellowship of the Spirit.
What was Solomon 6 and 24?
Yeah, because like IUIC would have tried to pull them. Hey, sister, fucking microphone. They do that to make it fun. Yeah. Everybody goes, hey, sister, you know. I want you to go, man. Go. And then the scripture says, if the poor curse you in the bitterness of their heart, because you see a motherfucker the product of McDonald's and shit like that, yet they proud. And deep down you want to see the famine, you know. Well,
But the multitude of the
and the
wise,
Lord gonna honor that too. Because we coming in behalf of Yahweh Shai, man. All right, you simply Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans don't know that we're a representation of the King of Kings. You know, like if someone sent an ambassador, they come into your land, you know, you might give them diplomatic immunity. And they, why? Because they're a representation of another, regime. So that's us. These spirits will come on behalf of Yahweh. So anybody who opposes us, just oppose the Lord. Oppose the Lord.
But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world.
Yep, the multitude of the wise, man. That's a separation too. You can't, the multitude of the wise, you can't incorporate your grandma with that. And all those, she went to church all those years. You can't say, well, hold up, grandma part of it. No, grandma don't know what's going on, man. If she know how to work them. But they might start working on these gadgets here and there. But if you ask them about the antiquity of the Jews, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. Why? Because they're not amongst the wise. That proves that this is a separation, man. That's such a man, she got a Bible, she got all that shit. Yeah.
It says, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world.
See, the multitude of the wise, all right, is the welfare of the world. That directly links into the next rulership. Because why? This current setup, it promotes death. And we didn't went into it. Look, if we was to go into that, man, we can assure another couple of hours just getting the ball rolling. Right? Because, hey, Esau, man, under his watch, everything is corrupted, everything is defiled, everything is perverse, twisted, even the minds of the people. That's why righteousness is really a conflict of interest. You think about it? A righteous mindset is a conflict of interest with the average Babylonian. See?
I got this word welfare. It says the health, happiness, and fortunes of a person or group.
And that word, that's what that word welfare translates to, health, man. So the health of the earth, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. Of a person or group. Happiness, fortune, or overall health. That's what the earth is in the worst case scenario, man. Seeing that it has language, this place is fucked up. Look at the roads. You look at it from an aerial view, right? It look like whips. You know what I'm saying? You see those roads and highways and roads throughout Route 66. And it looks just like the same whips like you see on slavery pictures. Jake, you got the back with the whips. Right? It's equivalent to the planet Earth. They under the watch of that same oppressor. The same continuous stroke of Esau has affected the earth. See? Hey, that stroke was so crazy, it affected our DNA. I did a lesson on that. Well, yeah, Lord, well, I might go back into it if I can find that article. It's worth it. Trying to bring it out, but I'll probably do it live or something like that. But research and study shows that application of slavery and how Esau, that continuous stroke over the generations, it affected our DNA, man. It actually affected the way Jake moved, you know? It kept you in a subjective state. That's why the idea of ruling is so far into our people, because you have your DNA now is wired. And I don't want to use that word DNA too much, but there's some logic to it. We don't use it as far as, you know, the thumbnail of the next, if I do the lesson, the thumbnail have DNA on the motherfucker. What I mean, the psyche, the spirit, the makeup of a person. You can actually do that with a dog.
That's all I've been thinking the whole time. You know, like they say about owning a kettle, and I got a mother and a father, and they fighters. I'm talking about they see a motherfucking ant, they You know what I'm saying? Getting out a goddamn ant. I'm talking about they crazy. But if I take their litter, all right, make them two and take their litter and beat the shit out of that litter. The whole time they coming, I'll beat the shit out of them, beat the shit out of them. Then take their litter, do the same thing, beat the shit out of them while they coming up. By the time I get to at least, I'm gonna say 5 generations of this.
And teach them how to be a cat.
And teach them how to motherfucking be a cat.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And teach them how to be a cat in the process. Make them go piss and shit in the cat litter. You know? You know what I'm saying? Make them do things as a cat would do. Right? By the say the what, 7th generation? 7th completion. That motherfucker trying to goddamn climb a tree. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucking pit bull, new old pit bull killer, mom and dad, generations ago was his but put it like this. His bloodline is a killer. But he trying to be a cat. He ain't got no fight in him. That's what happened over
Esau did.
That's what Esau did.
Yeah, and it really affected the mind. You see what wisdom, now you see why wisdom is such a key component. Now you see why it emphasized wisdom, instructions. Because this is what was affected, man. Our people, they can't see past nothing outside of Esau. Yeah, they can't even entertain the idea of being rulers, man. See? That's why it really was a miracle. But hey, again, it goes back to the Lord designing us this way. You know, the Lord designed us this way. You know, He created you to where when you heard the word, it was a fit. See? You would meekness receive that engrafted word. It was like you was designed for it. Everything that you was longing for. You got something? Come on, man.
This is Proverbs 8:14. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice.
See, by me kings reign, the princes decree justice. So, by wisdom, which Yahweh is the carrier of that wisdom, you have those who rise to power, fall out of power. You know? Go ahead.
By me princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth.
And this, what's that going to spill into? The governing body, man. It would be by way of Yahweh Shah, this everlasting kingdom will be set up. And that goes right back to the welfare of the earth. So by Yahweh Shah, we're going to reign. You know, not to mention all of these different kings. Because what the Lord said in Isaiah the 10th chapter, the axe cannot boast itself against he that lifted up. The axe man was of Esau. So even the Lord raised up Esau. But the everlasting dominion promise will be granted to us. All right? What?
I love them that love me,
See?
and those that seek me early shall find me.
See that? Yep, and the Lord loving us is the Lord allowing access to this truth, man. That's 1 Peter, the 1st chapter. And the Lord has, how's worded, entrance. The Lord has, yeah, the Lord has ministered. The Lord has ministered the entrance unto you. So the Lord said He loved those who love me. It's like the Lord loves those who love Him. Go ahead.
Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's heavy, that word durable. Durable, that what you say? Look that up. Let's see what that gives you real quick. Right, yep. Get something coming to your account, more like your, you get something coming to your account. Yeah, no control over it. Somebody just, yeah, go ahead.
Some good Google this. definition for durable in the Merriam-Webster.
Go ahead.
It says, able to exist for a long time without significant deterioration in quality or value.
Back in that Matthew, 6 chapter, go up your treasure in heaven, man. You know, with these don't break through, where it don't rust, you know, don't get moss eaten. Durable riches, man. Right? We have these durable riches, man. It's truth, man. Living water. Living water. Like it don't ever stop. Durable.
And can I say too, it starts with the seed.
Start with the seed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
True. Go ahead.
The Lord said, heaven and earth shall pass, my word.
Well, right, that's it. And it also go back, like you said, you don't control that. To even get to durable, that's it.
Yeah, spirit. Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, we got that. We got it over here too.
Okay.
Strong's H 6276. It says, handed forward, advanced, enduring, durable.
Enduring. You know? And this word is not going to fizzle out. It begins on that heavy too. When you read Romans, the 11th chapter, it speaks about those unsearchable riches. Right? And it starts with the doctrine. That's the riches. But it ultimately going to spill over into physical riches. We're going to have control. All right, we're going to be empowered. We're going to have all the riches. Yeah, see? That's durable. That means this doctrine is going to withstand. And we're going to actually have it. And even on the flip side, the destruction, the Lord calls his word a fire. And it's going to actually grow into a fire, a full-fledged fire throughout America. But again, yeah, that's doable, man. Well,
In the Strong's, it says antique, i.e. value.
value, whoa.
It says valuable, imminent, surpassing.
What? Eminent? Yeah, come on.
Man. Go ahead.
You got more of that? All right, go ahead.
All right, durable in Merriam-Webster, able to exist for a long time without significant deterioration in quality or value.
Yeah, quality. Hey, like the elder was saying, right? We're gonna go from these durable riches that we got, and it's gonna escalate. You know what I'm saying? To rulership, which is durable riches, meaning, hey, what is the highest value thing you can possess? Well, it's riches, a fucking human being, which is having slaves, man, having subjects. That's rulership. That's real riches. So that's those endurable riches, man. Endurable riches, you know.
You got to go under the bridge like 2 blocks. Oh,
Galaxies
sorry.
beyond.
And that durability, that means it's going to stand, it's going to hang around. You know, it's going to actually, yeah, that one was back there. Yeah, before they got down Little Storm.
Real talk.
Already exactly. Pull out the word. This is our night for that was it?
Yeah,
That was your definition? All right, yeah, come, we got some over here.
Okay, good. The word eminent, it says famous and respected with a particular sphere or profession. Similar words, illustrious, distinguished, renowned, esteemed, preeminent, notable, noteworthy, great.
Yep, great. See that? Yeah, so let's go back to that precept.
Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 18. Verse 18, riches and honor are with me, yeah, durable riches and righteousness.
Yeah, esteemed, notable. You know, and durable, man. You know, that's heavy when you think about it. Because everything else didn't have durability. The Black Panther thing, it wasn't durable. It just don't stand up. You silver right, it just don't make sense. Nothing to those of us who have been given a glimpse into the future. All right, it was a win, like the civil rights to get grant. Just throw an example, like the civil rights movement, might got a grant to open up the schools. That's not durable, because when we look at how the momentum going, Esau finna lock everybody down, man. We're going to the next phase of this diabolical plan to try to escape Yahweh's shot. And the prophecy, because prophecy is what's going to hold up. Right. Prophecy going to cause everybody to go into their position, man. Position themselves. Esau can't keep playing with y'all, man. He know that. Yeah, but a little time. Yahweh's sound away. We in this ear, we tell them, jump! You know what I mean? And to the, he on top of the roof. We tell him to jump up! Yeah. He under the clock. Yeah. What should I do? Yeah, we tell him to get the prophets out. Yeah. So, what's going to happen? Prophecy is going to have its place. Everybody going to go to their, Esau going to have to be the devil that he is, man. He's going to be locked down. You're going to hear that draconian word mandate thrown around more and more again. Because the legislation is already ready now. By the time we're going to 2023, hey, just prepare, man. Hey, we were saying that earlier. Prepare to see miracles. You got to prepare to see what we've been saying. Ain't just be here. You got to brace yourself to start seeing everything take form.
Proverbs 8 and verse 19, my fruit is better than gold, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. I lead in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the paths of judgment, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures.
Right, yeah, that's what this is about, man. Those treasures being filled begin at the word, with the word. Which again is going to have a durable. But as you spill over to a ruler, it's not going to fizzle out. It's the one main thing that out of all of our advances as a people, to try to somehow gain some form of relief, it's the one durable exit out of all of this. You know what? That's cool right there. All right, come on.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, in verse 24, it says, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world.
Right, we're going to benefit the world when we're in power. Go ahead.
And a wise king is the uphold.
Yep, that's those pillars. What's that? 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter. He raised them up the poor from the dunghill. He set them among princes. It goes on to say, the pillars of the earth are the Lord. So a pillar is what upholds things. The planet earth is going to be upheld through the next governing body. The Lord's going to raise up the poor to rule the world, man. And it's going to be successful because we're going to do it through the law, statutes, and commandments. Well,
receive therefore instruction.
And Esau had his shot. Niggas fucked up the earth. And they had it in everything. Y'all saw the article where the Jews, their hands in everything C-19 related, everything war related, Ukraine, the so-called Jews got their hand in all that. All right? The Romans, man, when you really go into it. Esau is the end of the world. So everything he has contributed to the planet Earth is what's killing you. So he proved to be an unfit ruler. So the Lord gave him a chance to rule. Now, his work is an indictment against him. This is your sacrifice. This crazy shit, man. Chemtrails and then once you escape that, you think you escape that madness, you look up and you see a tranny. All that's under the watch of Esau. Well,
It says receive instruction. It's like receive that for instruction through my words.
what, see that? And that goes into that grafted word. Receive with meekness, the grafted word, and we looked up that word and grafted. It translates to receiving the word by one's instruction. So it's a certain mind state one has to have. It has to be a good mind, a good mind to take hold of it. Because it comes in the form of instruction. Well,
And it shall do you good.
yep, it hits us when we do good. Yep. So, there you go. Hey, so with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory. Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders, great millstone. Shalom to the fellow ladies out there. As always, believe to this time. Shalom.
Shalom, DTA, above the ball.